The Task Manager allows you to get a quick overview of how the system resources are doing in your computer. Okay, so in order to invoke the Task Manager, go ahead and right-click on the taskbar and then click Task Manager. Additionally, you can invoke the Task Manager by pressing the Ctrl Shift and Escape keyboard combination. So when you first open the Task Manager, it's probably going to look something like this. It's not going to give you a lot of information. And notice that right now I have only one application running, which is the command prompt, and that is the application that is showing in the Task Manager. If you want to get more detail, go ahead and click on the more detailed link here at the bottom, and that is going to open up the Task Manager with a lot more information. Notice that you have on the top here, you have 5 different tabs. The process tab is going to show all the processes running on the system. And notice here that you have CPU utilization and memory utilization for every single process. If you right click here on the status column, you can enable more columns, or for example the process ID. Now I have a column with process ID. If you click on the performance tab, notice that the performance tab gives you a graphical representation for all the resources on the system: CPU, memory, disk, and network card. So if I click on the CPU, notice here at the bottom and that it's giving me the utilization in percentage for the CPU, the speed of the CPU, which is 2.7 gigahertz, the amount of processes running on the CPU, and the amount of threads. This is important information. If you click on the memory section, notice that we have 1.5 gigs of memory utilization, and we have 597 megabytes of free memory on the system. And here at the bottom, right now we're using 125 megabytes of paging or page pools, which this means is that our system doesn't have enough memory and is using some of the hard drive as physical memory. The higher this number, which means that the system is low on physical memory. If you click on the hard disk, and notice that these are the read and write speed in kilobits per second for the hard drive. And on the Ethernet card, this is the kilobits per second send and receive of data on that interface. If you click on the users tab, notice that you're going to have all the users currently logged in the system. If you expand on the currently logged in user, you're going to see all the processes running on that user. If you click on the details section here, you're going to see all the executables responsible for running these processes. And here under the service tab, these are all the services running in the system. So let's say, for example, that your computer is experiencing high CPU utilization, and obviously the computer is not responsive. So you want to find out which is the process responsible for using CPU, for high CPU utilization. In order to do that, I'm going to go into the process tab, and notice here that I have 2 columns. I'm going to click on the CPU column, and notice that when I click on this column, it's sorting the processes on descending order, putting the processes with the most CPU utilization at the top. And the same here with memory. You can sort in descending order or in ascending order. So let's say that this process, which is the Task Manager, is responsible for the most CPU utilization. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click on the process, and then I'm going to click on go to details. And notice here that when I go to the details tab, it automatically selects the executable responsible for running that process. So from here I can right click on that executable and click on end task. Okay,